in the time after King Arthur. Vikings for breakfast. The indolence of the summer was but a memory now, and the crispness of late autumn was in the morning air. It was an uneasy time between contentment and the upcoming winter of death. It was a time of sober aging for Cordicus, now growing old. This was the moment that Cordicus had waited for. A large assemblage of Viking units was camped in the marshes. The Vikings were dumb, but not dumb enough to let him pull this trick too often. The Vikings made another 10 miles the second day and could have gone further, but again waited for their supply train since no supplies were to be found along the way. The Celtic woods were empty, and the smoke of burned villages was in the air and in their eyes. Having made some progress, the Vikings camped early and began their celebration. They celebrated heavily, although they were still quite weary from walking the land on sea legs. No horses were to be found. The evacuating residents had taken them all. It was part of the plan. Cordicus looked to the starlit sky. He thought of the wars he had seen, the wars he had led, the kingdoms he'd won and lost, many changes he'd seen since his early Roman days. But the stars, they were different. The stars were among the most enduring features of the world, and they were of the world to those who noticed them. Long after all else turns to dust, the stars will still shine. Now it was time for the marshmen to shine, the army of Cordicus. They had all come, slipping through the woods on their iron-clad feather feet. False dawn came and went. Torches on angels' wings now filled the sky as the northern lights flickered in the electric night. The taunting of the Norsemen began near dawn as Cordicus's bowmen set their feathered shafts to the sinew and drew them taut. Noiselessly, the arrows flew into Viking hearts, and confusion spread through the ranks of the groggy camp. As the Vikings had not brought pleasure to Britain, neither did the marshmen deliver any in return. 3 Viking units were thoroughly destroyed. Then the bowmen melted back into the woods from whence they came, their woods, their home, where one fights best in one's own territory, something we can learn from animals in nature. A report of the victory was sent back to Perceval, and he posted it on the castle wall.